I would probably put my finger on software. Software and analysis that are, again, in Steve's world, I still remember he had a slide rule hanging on his wall in his office. And I had my handy dandy calculator at that time, and I remember him showing me how that worked, and I just had to shake my head a couple times, but he could figure any number we would throw at him. But it was all, hand calculated, hand sketched. Again, there was CAD back then, but there's a lot of hand calculations and sketchings and lines for coordination of when a relay would trip versus another relay versus another relay. You have 3 relays kind of looking at the same area, but one's closer than the other. And again, I think a lot of those concepts and those calculations and that analysis are still what those software programs are built on.
It is.
But it's able to, it tells you or asks you what you need, what you're looking at, what kind of relay, and that's all built in, whereas you had to have a manual and you had to read it and you had to note it and you had to update it, and as you had relays come in, you had to look those up too. That's all built into the software today,
Right.
compared to what happened in the old days, right?
Yeah, I spent hours coordinating.
Right.
So to make sure that the proper line section tripped out. You don't want to do any more than you have to during a fault. And most of the time it worked pretty well. Not always. Sometimes there was a hiccup here and there, and you dealt with it.
Right.
But I guess I would equate it to how cell phones have evolved. Okay? Right now, you've got more computing power in your pocket than we had in the building,
Right.
basically. And, okay, anybody remember the bag phones in the car? Okay. I mean, how much has that evolved to what you have now? No, nothing, not comparable. Same thing with the new technology for the relay, for the protection system. Night and day difference.
Right. I would also add to that, just I remember Steve and Bruce Shostak, he's retired too, but all the different CAD and drawings that were done, and there was a lot of that stuff was by hand. Now we have got all kinds of different CAD options, not just for drawing, but to do analysis on, can this steel structure hold this type of tension or load?
Right.
Can these structures handle the span tension? And again, that was all done by hand.
And calculations.
With Steve and Bruce in their day, whereas again, those calculations are still valid and true today, but they're built into a software package that it streamlines it, so you're plugging in the numbers that you have, and it cranks out what you need.
Yep.
And really makes it a lot easier, a lot quicker, and you can handle a lot more line with less people, and do more projects with good valid data.